Whew. So the way that I work shamanically, I have a sacred circle, and mine is in the lower world where Grandmother Sunflower lives. And I call the spirits in physically here in my room, and at the same time in that sacred circle in the lower world. And I see the perimeter of the circle populated by this wealth of compassionate spirits with whom I've worked for all these years, and more who come. And as more people join into the Spirit Healer community, their spirits come as well. I bring my client into that sacred space and present them and ask the spirits to do whatever healing work is necessary, you know, whatever that is for them. But that sacred space is my home in non-ordinary reality. And it's neat that you guys were shown ceremonial ground that might become that kind of a sacred space for you, where your teachers will be present with you, and you'll feel like the more you work there, the more rich, empowered, and magical the place becomes. It's very cool that you saw the little fairy beings in the trees. And I'm going to call them the fairies because I'd like to say that the she, which is the Celtic word for the people who live in the hills, they're all over the world. They're not just Celtic. And the versions of them that other cultures have recognized, you know, they're part of our landscape, and they're part of the people we work with. And it's a branch of shamanism that becomes more and more important. So I'm grateful that they presented themselves. This is very cool. You guys are just, the stories you're telling and the imagery you're bringing and the shamanic history, the ancestral healing, all of the stuff that you're bringing to the table here is a great gift. Thank you. We have another task. Yeah? And absolutely they're ready, Grandmother says. I would like you to return to either the upper or the lower world. And I would like you to ask your power animal which way to go for this journey, right? It says your power animal is your guides, and you set the intention, and your power animal says, okay, let's go. And your intention is to meet a spirit teacher who will be connecting to you to help answer your questions and show you your next steps on your shamanic path, or your any path for that matter. A teacher that you can meet, you can connect to, you can get to know, and who will share with you information crucial to you for your life path. When you meet this teacher, your first job is to honor them. Your first job is to say, thank you. What can I do for you? What can I gift you? What can I offer you? And after you've gotten an answer to that, you can then ask, what about me? And what you'd like to know is who they are. Or maybe you want to know, what do I need to do next? Or maybe you have a pressing question that you want answered. So we'll start with, what can I do for you? And then you'll ask a question that's about you. So this journey is really great because you get to meet a teacher. You get to understand that your power animal takes in your request and says, okay, we're gonna. And he'll take you to or she will take you to the upper or lower world. You'll travel with your power animal to meet your first, for this series, teacher. You have many teachers. The one that's appropriate for right now. When you meet that teacher, honor them, thank them. What can I do for you? How can I give back? And after you get an answer to that, ask your heart question, whatever that may be. At the callback, thank the teacher. Is there a way I can connect with you quickly? Is there a way we can quickly connect? In these times of trouble we're in, quickly connecting is important. We are in times of trouble. There is no two ways about it. Quickly connecting is important. And then ask your power animal to take you back the way you came, meticulously retracing your steps back into the tree, out into your space in nature, and disconnecting. Right before I do the callback, I will ask, is there a way we can quickly connect? And I'll give you a minute to get an answer to that, and then I'll begin the callback. Okay? I have to stretch. It's a lot of drumming. I'm just saying. Okay. This is a journey to meet a teacher. You'll begin in your place in nature, connecting to your tree and your power animal. And you'll give the intention to your power animal, please take me to the upper or lower world to meet the teacher I should meet right now. Entering into the tree, you'll go the direction your power animal says. You'll enter into that realm and follow whatever pathway the power animal shows you until you meet a teacher. Your first mission is to thank, honor, and ask, what can I do for you? And then you'll ask what your heart question is. Finally, you'll hear me say, how can we quickly connect? You'll get an answer to that. And then when you hear the callback beat, you'll follow your steps meticulously back through into the tree, back into your space, disconnecting from the tree and your power animal, and coming back into your bones. Here we go, 10 minutes. can we quickly connect? Well, wow. You can go ahead and unmute yourselves and tell me how it was.
Let me see if I can remember it. We went to the lower world. It was quicker this time. Straight over to the, what was it called? Ceremonial place. And as I sat down, it was like all this smoke and light, and then these two huge, like big muscular Indian guys started coming. I'm like, you're not my spirit teacher, but they kept coming. And then right behind them walks this little teeny woman and comes out. I said, no, I am. And she was like the size, like my mom, who's very small. Her sister's the same. And so I asked her what you said to ask her, what could I do for her? And she said, like you began yesterday, I did a thing for the full moon yesterday, and it included a letter to my mother. And she said, I want you to continue that and discover her strengths and her gifts that you never noticed. They're yours too. And I said, okay, I can do that. She said, and she told me, she said, you began it yesterday. I was trying to get her name, and I was getting Pearl Essence, and then I got Eva, and I said, like my aunt? I said, not quite. And then it was Evie. And at some point she transitioned to an Indian in white. When she was standing there before, she was just in very humble garb with a band around her head, nothing, no robes or anything. It was just like an everyday outfit. And she said, you'll see me in many different forms.
Yeah.
And finally at the end, I got it when it was like how to connect quickly. It was several things. She said, just ask, call my name. I said, call what? So you can call me Evie. You can call me Grandmother Pearlescence. And also, I'll come to you in your dreams. Just ask me to. So it was more of I can connect. And probably just like you were doing this is like that's an anchor for me. It's just like I can do that. And it's like, okay, I want to connect.
Mm-hmm. Cool. See, this is why names are hard. Because the beings are of many forms.
Yeah, that's what she said. It's just more of call out. It was call out to her with the intention of who she is.
Right. Did she ask you to do anything for her?
Yeah, it was the first thing. She told me to continue with what I was doing with the work with my mom,
Oh, right.
noticing the strengths and the gifts. That's what she wanted me to do.
Yeah. Okay. Neat. Good. Yeah. You
And
know
I
a
made
lot.
my request, and there's more to come on that. It was I don't remember what happened with the answer. She said what you've done so far is correct and you're on the right path and there's more to come, and then I don't know where it went. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've done an awful lot this morning. I'm not surprised it's blurry. The beauty of a
Very
journey
blurry.
that is blurry is you can always re-journey it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Judy.
So my hawk took me back up to the upper world. And grandfather met me, and he took me to meet grandmother, who is my teacher. And she said, I am she who runs. And I told her I was very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming. And I asked what I could do for her. And she said to make her a necklace. So then I had to go around in the area and find the things to make the necklace. Porcupine quills, and I found a crystal to put in the center, and dried berries. And I don't know how I made it, but I made it. And I presented it to her. I felt like she was very pleased. And grandfather just stood quietly there observing. And I asked, it's kind of hard to put into words, but I guess I asked how to love myself more. How can I be more open and loving? Not that I don't love myself, I do, but I feel like there's, parts that need to be worked on. And she just said to be still with myself and allow. And I said, okay. And then we just sat quietly together. All of us sat in circle. And I just kind of looked out into the horizon of these beautiful mountains and trees, and just was still with myself, I guess. So yeah, that's what I need to say. I was still with myself. And then I thanked her, and then I asked her, how do I call on you? And just like Miss Sherry, she just said, just call me. I'm right there. I'm always right there.
Mm-hmm.
So just call me. It was great. It was very nice. We've done a lot of stuff today. A lot
Yes.
of stuff in a short time. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just so honored that you ladies have done this and that you've stuck with it. And let's just talk about what we've accomplished today, what we've done, because it is big. We began this morning a long time ago. And we did a journey into our sacred space in nature and a place that we know and that we love, that we could remember. And we went into the spiritual aspect of that place, and we got to start to meet the spirits who live there, who thrive there. That the spirits that we would see going there if we had our spirit eyes open, so we could see spirit as well as the carbon form. Mm-hmm. We let our imagination expand, and we asked the spirits to inform us even more about that place. That alone is incredibly magical. Then we met our ancestor tree, and that tree becomes our gateway between the worlds, and that tree becomes our very safe and sacred place. And Sherry learned how when you merge into that tree, you can become invisible. This is true. Don't forget it. When you need to be invisible, we met our power animals. Sherry met her beautiful wolf, and Judy met a hawk and a panther. And we learned that our power animals are the ones who guide us. We set our intention, we turn it over to the power animal. Our intention is the railroad tracks, and the power animal guides us through the infinite worlds of non-ordinary reality in order to meet the spirits we want to meet and to accomplish the missions of our intentions. We've connected with that power animal deeply, merging, and with the tree, merging. And we asked to be shown the portal in the tree to the upper world. We went through the sky, through a membrane, and into the upper world to find a healing place. And at that healing place, big stuff happened for you guys. Judy got a healing. Oh yeah, a big shamanic healing of extraction and power infusion and soul retrieval. Sherry has had the opportunity to see the landscape of her history, the landscape of her parents and her grandparents, and the trauma that they underwent, to get a sense of what her path is, what her mission is, to reconnect with her ancestors, to heal the ancestral wounds and to heal the wounds in herself at the same time, which reciprocates healing them, and that all of that. And her journeys have been filled with empowerment to do that. We got to find a beautiful healing place filled with crystals. Oh yeah. That we can lean up against and get empowerment when we need it. We learned that it's important to follow pathways, and that those pathways, when we follow them repeatedly out and back, become imprinted into our brain and become super fast raceways for us to access the magical spirits of the realms. We went into the lower world, merging again with our tree and our power animals. We asked them to carry us down through the roots, through a tunnel, into the bright light of the lower world. And we found an ancestral, or not an ancestral ground, probably it was, but a ceremonial place. A place where ceremony is done and has been done. And that may become your sacred ceremonial ground when you're doing ceremony in non-ordinary reality, or it may not. But Sherry came to understand how important it is for her to recreate a space like that on her land. Very important. And that kind of mirroring of our world and the shamanic world, that mirroring is something we're cultivating. And we journeyed to meet a teacher. We asked our power animal to show us which direction to go. We followed them, and we met somebody very special for us. Someone who will give us step-by-step instruction on our path and who will be there to support us. And we learned that we can call them to us by making the request. And I find that we're blurry at the end of all of this because it's a huge amount to do in just a few hours. Yeah, you're transfigured. It's good. Your number one takeaway is always journey with a power animal. And when you're doing any kind of energetic out of your body work, have your power animal with you. Make all of your energetic out of your body work shamanic. Because your power animal is like that beautiful wolf who protected your ancestors. Your power animal will protect you and guide you in all your circumstances. So stay connected to your power animal. We learned that there are teachers out there who have known us forever and who desire to reconnect with us and can tell us what we need to do next. So we are empowered and stay on our path and become more healthy, more whole, more complete, more powerful in the world. There are things you can do, a lot of them, to bring all of this wisdom into your bones. The first one is dancing your power animal. Getting up out of your chair, merging with a power animal and dancing around. You could do journeys to return to your teachers and take small steps, asking questions and learning what your next steps are with them. You can go on explorations with your power animal into all the worlds. There are a myriad of things you can do with this to integrate the work that you've received today, to help it fold into you. At Spirit Healer School, the next step is a class called Circles and Crossroads. And that's in the Exploring series. We have two series of trainings at Spirit Healer School. One is the Exploring series, which are classes kind of like this. They're short. This one was long because we bumped it all together. But they're short. They're 1-hour classes that meet in segments of 3 sessions. So once a week for an hour each week, where we do a short journey to build our knowledge and increase our capability in shamanic practice. The next one is Circles and Crossroads, where we work with that sacred circle, that ceremonial circle, and start to make it our own, where we call the spirits in the 4 directions, and we mirror that crossroads in our home. Like Sherry, you wouldn't have to build your sweat lodge like overnight, but stake out the ground and get to know our sacred working space. And then the next one after that is merging with your teachers, dancing with your teachers. You got a preview of that on the importance of dancing and how this is part of it. And just getting to know the spirit's story and why you two are connected, who you are through your spirit's mirror of you. And we learn to retrieve a power animal for a friend, which is the first shamanic healing we give to someone else. So that's coming up on the agenda for the exploring classes. In the full circle shamanic training program I have, which began in January and runs through July of 2021, I have 6-week classes that are focused on subject. And we just completed the first one, which is the expanded version of the things I just described. It's getting to know your teachers really well and mirroring space and becoming integrated with our spirits in both realities so that we begin to feel ourselves on the crossroads at whenever we need to. It teaches you to be able to walk out into the woods and say, I'd like to find the matsutake mushrooms. Merge with your power animal, merge with the land, ask the matsutakis to show them to you, hear their little song, and go running up a pathway nobody else saw until you find a huge flush of matsutake mushrooms. It's one of the benefits. I love mushroom hunting. So we've just completed that class. The next class in that series is Core Shamanic Healing, the steps of Core Shamanic Healing. Recognizing where the trouble lies in the body, extraction, power infusion, that sort of thing. So the Spirit Healer School has the Exploring Path, which are small, sort of light, and the Full Circle Path. In addition, we have pop-up circles. We have one coming up this Friday. And we have a monthly drumming circle, journey circle on Zoom, where people just get together and we call in the spirits and do a check-in, because it's really about community and people staying interwoven and in touch. And then we do a journey for ourselves and a journey for the earth. And that's who we are, Spirit Healer. And I'm glad you guys have stepped into the circle. Do you have anything you'd like to say or share?
I thank you. I learned best this way. I like the Zoom. Excuse me. I like walking through it little chunks at a time. I'm at my fill for today, for sure.
Oh my God, yes.
But it's better than reading something or any of that. I like the experiential and then having the ability to ask questions. So this works for me.
Great. Good. My idea, I've already done the Circle and Crossroads exploring class, and I'm thinking I could redo that again next Tuesday, much in the same format we've done this. And then you could step from that into the rest of the exploring series, which runs 1 hour a week, a little more sane, if you wanted to do that.
I'd be open to that. Let me look at next Tuesday.
Yeah, I have to think about it, because actually this was a fluke that I had this time off. I have to go to work soon. I'm a massage therapist and I had some cancellations. So it was Great Spirit had a reason that I had those cancellations, but I can't always afford to have cancellations.
Yeah.
So
Well,
to get to that much time is unusual.
I know, it's crazy. And I'm not really even sure that the next Tuesday class makes sense. But Sherry, you'd be completely welcome, and Judy, you'd be completely welcome to step into the exploring series that's starting again on the 27th.
Yeah, I'll look into the information and see what if I can book out or whatever, because my people book out months in advance. So
isn't that great for you?
Well, I've been doing this 25 years, so yeah, but every day is different. You just, you're booked and then all of a sudden the phone rings and you're not booked. That's just the way things go.
I know that story.
So, thank you so much. I've just
thank you.
really, really enjoyed this journey, and you're an awesome teacher and guide. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a privilege to work with you. And the stories that you guys told are flipping incredible. What the spirits brought through you guys as an overview and an illustration of the power of shamanism is just spectacular. I hope you've enjoyed this class as much as we have, and I look forward to seeing you in Circle soon at SpiritHealer.com. Thanks again.